And President Obama, don't be fooled about this, in 2009, he asked for the power to indefinitely detain people without charges, without a trial, without legal assistance, and without the right of habeas corpus. We are on the road toward totalitarianism, and that's not an exaggeration. Take a look at this. If one person can determine against whom and under what conditions laws passed by Congress and our Constitution are going to be applied, that spells tyranny. It's the very definition of tyranny. So what happened when President Obama came into office? He said, oh, about our international treaties and our own domestic laws, absolutely forbidding torture. Let's forget about those war crimes and move forward and not look backwards. What about those people that committed countless federal felonies by illegally spying on American citizens? He said, let's forget about it. And he did the same thing when he was in the United States Senate, and after he'd promised just the opposite to everybody before he got the Democratic nomination, he voted for retroactive immunity, criminal immunity for the telecom companies that participated in the illegal surveillance program.
All right.
That shows such utter disregard for the rule of law. We need to demand more of our leaders, or we'll never.
Virgil,
we'll never meet the promise of our founders and our Constitution.
Virgil.
One sentence answer, Larry. If I were president, I would have vetoed NDAA.
Why can't we all be that simple? Okay, Governor?
Well, because, Larry, this is like shamelessly pitching oneself to vote for me. So I'm going to try and take advantage of shamelessly pitching myself here. I would have vetoed the National Defense Authorization Act, allowing for you and I, as U.S. citizens, to be arrested and detained without being charged. I think what's really significant is last December, the ACLU came out with a report card on all of the presidential candidates. And I apologize to the three others on stage that weren't in this report card. But they came out with a report card on all the presidential candidates. ACLU, a group dedicated to civil liberties, a group dedicated to the Constitution, a group dedicated to the first 10 amendments to the Constitution, a Bill of Rights. I think this is really important. 24 liberty torches was a perfect score. Mitt Romney and Rick Santorum had 0 liberty torches out of 24. Newt Gingrich had 4 liberty torches out of 24. Barack Obama had 16 liberty torches out of 24. My hero, Ron Paul, 18 liberty torches out of 24. And Gary Johnson had 21 liberty torches out of 24, something that I'm very proud of.
Okay, anybody rebuttal? I guess you all agree on that. All right, we go to question number 6. We will, by the way, have discussion on this, and we'll have 2-minute closing comments as well. To begin this round, we'll start with Rocky. The 6th and final debate question was selected by my editorial team from the many questions submitted to us via social media. In a post to Facebook, Russ Haight asked the presidential candidates this. You have to think about this, and we start with Rocky. If you had the opportunity to write one constitutional amendment with an absolute guarantee it would be approved by Congress, and then following that 3/4 of the state legislatures, what would you amend?
I've already written it. Please take a look at our website, voterocky.org. It's the new Equal Rights Amendment promising that equal rights under the law will never be abridged on account of gender or sexual orientation. It's time that we have federal protection for members of our GLBT community and absolutely prohibit any discrimination on account of gender. That amendment, without the sexual orientation provision, failed by not getting the approval of only 3 states in this country. It's high time we revive it, add sexual orientation and gender identification, and make that statement as a nation that we'll never allow discrimination on those grounds again.
Do you, before the others respond, do you think, Rocky, that would pass today?
I do think it would pass if the people made it clear that we insist upon it, and there will be a heavy political price paid by anybody in Congress or in the White House who opposes it. It's really up to us. Major social movements in this country always started at the grassroots level. We are the leaders. Let's make them follow us.
Virgil, how would you like to amend the Constitution?
Term limits. If we don't adopt term limits, you are going to continue to have a Congress that is always worried about the next election instead of what's best for the country. And let me say this, if we could get it through Congress, and you might have to grandfather all the members of Congress there right now, which I wouldn't want to do, but you might have to. I'm for term limits between 6 years and 12 years. I don't care what it is, whether it's 6, 8, 10, or 12. It would enhance Washington so much because I was there 12 years. It's a constant worry about the next election. Where's the next fundraiser going to be? Who are the PACs going to be there giving me money so I'll be able to outspend my opponents? You watch the Chicago television. It is constant advertising, and the PACs are the biggest contributors to that for congressional elections. I will tell you this, if we could get it through the House and the Senate, it would go like a knife through hot butter of the state legislatures. Term limits now.
Are they, as a follow-up, Virgil, you think they'd vote themselves out of office?
No, that's why I said you would probably have grandfather those now. I think you could get it through if you would grandfather now, or at least let it start by giving them, if it was a 12-year, give them 12 more years, and that would get it through.
Governor, what's your constitutional amendment?
Term limits. The root of all evil are politicians that beat their chests, and in the name of electing me or re-electing me, we're going to end the war on terror, we're going to take care of the illegal immigrant, we're going to take care of health care, we're going to have free education for everybody, we're going to end the drug wars. You name it, elect me, re-elect me, I'm going to save the world. And Congress gets elected. We need to balance, I hear congressional ads running all the time. We need to balance the federal budget. The next ad that runs is, here's the bacon that I've brought home to my state, amounting to billions of dollars, and if you want the bacon to continue to be brought home, vote for me. I think I'm living proof that term limits work. Look, I really enjoyed being governor of New Mexico. I really enjoyed it, but I knew that I was term limited. I had 8 years. Did I push the envelope as much as I might have pushed it if I'd had 4 years as opposed to 8 years? I don't think I did. I think I pushed the envelope just far enough to get reelected, and I got reelected in a state that was 2-to-1 Democrat, but I got reelected, and then it was, man, this is all about doing the right thing. I do not want to leave office thinking coulda, shoulda, woulda. So term limits, in my opinion, really is the silver bullet. Politicians would get elected and do the right thing as opposed to whatever it takes to get elected and reelected.
And Jill, how would you amend the Constitution?
My concern is that even with term limits, unfortunately, corporations and big money can still buy what they want and are still buying our candidates because they get them into office anyhow, whether it's for 4 years or 8 years. So I want to pass the amendment that will clarify that money is not speech and corporations are not people. Because in stealing our rights of personhood, corporations have done exactly that. They have gotten the rights of personhood and have basically taken away our rights of personhood. So corporations can fight and stop and block the laws that we need to protect our air and our water and our climate and worker safety and public health and campaign finance. These are not constitutional issues that belong to corporations. These are political questions that should be decided by communities through the political and legislative process. We should not be precluded from forming the laws that we decide we need because corporations say that our forming such laws and protecting ourselves is against the Constitution. That is a violation of what the writers of the Constitution intended. And I will support that amendment to clarify, to get our constitutional rights back from the corporations that have seized them.
This has been a very lively evening. You will each have 2 minutes to close, is that correct?
That's correct.
All right.
Got it.
We start with the way we started, or do we go roundabout?
We're actually going to go next in line to Virgil.
Okay, this is 2 minutes, closing statements. You don't have to rebut them. You can say anything you like.
Again, thanks to Free and Equal, thanks to Larry King, thanks to Gary, Rocky, and Jill. Open up the process, give broader views to Americans, and we will have a better and greater country. 4 things that we've got to do right away. I repeat, balanced budget now, not 10 years down the road like Obama and Romney are talking about. Jobs in America for American citizens first. I am the only candidate that has advocated a near complete moratorium on green card foreign worker admissions into this country until unemployment is under 5%. It makes no sense to bring in so many foreign workers when we need jobs in America for U.S. citizens first. Thirdly, I agree with Jill on super PACs and PACs and defining speech, but I don't think you need I think it can be done with legislation with enough whereases and a sense of the House and a sense of the Senate in it. I want to see political action committees eliminated, individual donations only, full transparency, and we need to end the super PACs that are totally just about controlling federal elections. It's time for a grassroots candidate like Virgil Goode to be president, and he'll work for term limits too.
Governor?
I would not be standing here before you right now if I didn't think I could do a really good job as President of the United States. And I am basing that on the resume that I have. I've been an entrepreneur my entire life. I started a one-man handyman business when I was a junior in college and actually grew that business to employ over 1,000 people in Albuquerque. It's amazing what can happen when you do what you'll say you'll do and when you show up on time. It's just amazing. Now, I sold that business in 1999. Nobody lost their job. Business is doing better than ever. As governor of New Mexico, I ran completely outside of the political system. I got elected governor, Republican governor, in a state that was 2-to-1 Democrat, and made a name for myself vetoing legislation. I may have vetoed more legislation than the other 49 governors in the country combined. I vetoed 750 bills. I had thousands of line item vetoes. It made a difference when it came to billions of dollars worth of spending. It made a difference when it came to laws that would have told you or I what we could or couldn't do in the bedroom. With regard to immigration, which I think really is a hot button issue, and it kind of highlights differences between me and everybody else, let's start off with the premise that immigration is really a good thing. Let's make it as easy as possible for somebody that wants to come into this country and work to get a work visa. Not a green card, not citizenship, but a work visa so that applicable taxes would get paid and that we would have no criminals working in this country. Look, we hear about wasted vote right now. Wasting your vote is voting for somebody that you don't believe in. That's wasting your vote. I'm asking everybody